Hi, I'm Pete Harden. I'm running for Orange County District Attorney, and I want to talk directly to our law enforcement community. I've served throughout my career to protect our country and our communities. I work towards our national security as a Marine Corps officer in garrison and at war in Afghanistan. And I work towards the safety of our communities as a deputy DA and a special assistant United States attorney. Now, you have undoubtedly heard or will hear my opponent make some absurd and offensive claims that after a lifetime of advancing national security and community safety, that I would turn around and advance an agenda that would make us less safe. This is nothing more than politics at its worst. My opponent has no policies or results to offer you, so instead he gives you fear-mongering rhetoric. Sheriff Barnes, police chiefs, and all of our deputies and officers, I want you to know that I have always and will always be a staunch supporter of law enforcement. I've worn the uniform of this country, and I know what it's like to carry a weapon every day, step outside the wire, and put your life on the line in service of others. I know you are tired of our revolving door justice system, of arresting and rearresting the same people only to see crime and homelessness in our communities skyrocket. I will work with you to address the underlying issues that endanger our communities, get you away from responding to mental health and addiction-related service calls and the dangers they pose, and get you focusing on what you do best: community policing and catching violent offenders. Look, I know what an incredibly difficult time in American history this is to wear the badge and uniform, and I'm more committed than ever to earning your trust, listening to you, and supporting you. When you are unfairly targeted and painted with too broad a brush because of the wrongful acts of a few, I will stand up to the pressure and I'll be above the politics to clear your name. Now, for my friends at the District Attorney's Office, I'm running to restore trust in your professionalism and your discretion. Contrary to concerns that I would come in and clean house, I intend to build a cabinet and an office structure that includes some of the great prosecutors and the dedicated public servants among you, because I know that I have a lot to learn from you. Contrary to concerns that I would hamstring you with restrictive blanket policies, I know that you were hired for your good judgment, and I will work with you, not against you, to listen to you, learn from you, and put your good judgment to work for the people of Orange County. I know that you do not need blanket policies to guide you. Let me address a couple of other gross misrepresentations my opponent has made. I will not and have not accepted a dime from special interest groups or political influencers. And you can see this for yourself at the Orange County Registrar of Voters. You can go to ocvote.gov and you can look up our financial disclosure statements. Those are publicly available. Let me also be clear that I have only ever served our country and communities with honor, and that as a prosecutor, I only made disposition decisions in the interests of safety and justice. Suggestions about my campaign policies and character that infer otherwise are simply untrue. But my opponent intentionally sows these untruths to distract you from the abject failure that his time in office has been. During his tenure, and despite his tough-on-crime rhetoric, crime has risen dramatically in every category across the board, with homicides reaching a 22-year high. Homelessness in Orange County is up 41%. Simply put, what my opponent is doing is not working. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. And we cannot accept a leader who constantly chooses showmanship over leadership. We should not accept a leader who is drowning in a sea of scandals, including 5 lawsuits for enabling sexual harassment and retaliating against those who complained, another lawsuit for political corruption, and now calls for his resignation following racist remarks. We cannot accept a leader who makes knowingly false statements to a judge in an attempt to keep his racist remarks from the public. Keep in mind, it took a brave law enforcement officer to come forward and call out this cover-up. My opponent has lost endorsements from the top law enforcement officials of every major county in California. They don't want to be associated with this man or what he stands for, and neither should we, because he has and will continue to jeopardize prosecutions and the fair administration of justice. One thing is clear: my opponent will always put himself above the administration of justice, and he'll do so shamelessly. I can promise you that I will never do that. The people of Orange County deserve better than our current district attorney. They deserve our leadership and professionalism. Let's give it to them. Thank you.